It's MC Monte in the place to be. Welcome to the adventures of MC Monte. This video series is all about making the 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie cosplay. Yeah. This Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1995 movie cosplay series has been so fun. We're almost done. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made my undersuit. I made my suit as a separate top and bottom using spandex 4-way stretch fabric. If you don't know how to sew, don't worry. You can simply buy a bodysuit in the color of your Ranger, or you can buy a fitted shirt and leggings for the color of your Ranger and then put the accent details on top of that. As usual, everything you need is listed in the description below. Gather your supplies and let's get to it. Next, I'm going to work on a couple of fabric detail pieces that are on the suit. Using the same template that you use to cut out your belt, you can make these two pieces. This piece goes around my forearm, so this template is 3 inches wide and you make it however long you need it. This piece goes around the forearm like so, and that's all it is. If you don't have fabric like this, so this is black stretch faux leather fabric. You can use some black stretch faux leather fabric and sew the lines into it. I just so happen to have this fabric that already has the lines sewn in it. But if you don't have any fabric like this, you can just take your black fabric and sew the lines in it yourself. The alternative of doing this to fabric is doing it in foam. So you can just take your EVA foam and you take your X-Acto knife and you score straight lines into the foam. Then you take your heat gun and you open up those score lines. This piece will just go around my forearm, so it's ready to go. All I'm gonna do is sew this closed, flip it over, and slide it onto my arm. If you're using EVA foam for this piece, you can do a Velcro closure. The smaller loops are done. I hemmed the ends, and sewed it closed using a zigzag stitch. So these smaller ones go on my forearm like this. Boom. Next, I'm going to use my black fabric with the detail lines in it and cut out the under torso, under the shoulder layer. Trace where this needs to go, flip it, and trace the other side. This sits over the shoulder and underneath the chest/torso armor. Next, I'm going to cut out the soft part, the detail for the thigh piece. This piece goes on your thigh, under your thigh armor. Depending on what method you're using to put this costume together, you can sew this onto your black tights or you can attach it another way. I'm going to sew this onto my black tights. Next, I'm going to start working on the top, and the first thing I'm going to do is hem the shoulder detail. I'm going to hem the shoulder detail so the outside has a clean finish. For my top, I'm going to clone this shirt. I'm going to make my undersuit with 4-way stretch spandex. I'm going to start by tracing out the sleeve. So notice I'm only folding over as much fabric as I need. And hopefully you can see this. Sorry, this is black on black. Next, I'm going to clone the front of the shirt. And I repeat the same process to clone the back. The first thing I'm going to do is line up the front and back with good side facing good side. And I'm going to sew the shoulders together at the shoulder seam. So after you sew the shoulder seams together, open up your shirt and pin your shoulder detail into place, and then sew your shoulder detail down to your shirt. Now my shoulder details are done. The next thing I'm gonna do are the sleeves. So next I'm gonna line up my sleeve and pin it into place and then sew my sleeves on. So what I do is start at the center and then sew down one side and go back to the center and sew down the other side. And now that the sleeves are attached, I'm going to sew the sleeve closed and then sew all the way down the side of the body. Construction of the shirt is now complete. Hem the wrist and hem the bottom. And the last thing to do is add the collar. To make my collar for my neck size, I need to cut a piece of fabric that's 16 inches long. So for this, since it's 2 layers of fabric, I need to cut at 8. So 8 by 4, and that'll give me my collar. So first I'm going to sew the ends of the collar together. I'm using a zigzag stitch for this. Now I'm going to put my collar inside my shirt and line it up good side to good side and sew the collar into position. So I'm starting from this seam and I'm going to sew all the way around to the other side. Then flip it right side out. And there's your collar. Now all you have to do is hem the top. And now your shirt is complete. So for my legs, I'm using this basic leggings pattern for men. So I'm gonna cut out my leggings and sew them together. Next, I'm going to begin sewing the bottoms. The first thing I have to do is hem the hip detail. Then I'm going to sew this onto my bottoms. All right, here's my thigh detail. And I'm going to hem the ends like so. Make it all smooth and look pretty. Next, I'm going to prep my bottoms and sew them together. So the first thing I need to do is pin the hip detail into place. So I added 4 inches to this pattern. So I'm going to put a mark at 4 inches down. And I use that as a guideline to place where my hip detail needs to go. So now I'm going to pin this into position. Next, I'm going to line up my 2 leg panels. And first, I'm going to sew the crotch closed. Next, I'm going to adjust my bottoms and get ready to sew the legs closed. So now I'm going to sew from the ankle all the way up the crotch and down to the other side. And to finish my pants, I'm going to add elastic to the waistband. And now the pants are done. And there you have it. Your undersuit for your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 1995 movie cosplay is done. There's only one more step left to go, and that's to paint your suit. So in the last video of this series, I'm going to be showing you how I painted everything and put it all together. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video or tutorial. I hope this build is going well with you so far. And if you do this build and you share pictures on your social media, be sure to tag me. Always remember, adventure awaits. So get out into the world and explore. And I'll see you next time. Peace.